Okay. Hi, Professor. Our group did the project named the Second-Hand Trading System, and our group member is Chen Huimi. It's me and Yu Miao. The outline of our presentation is first the introduction, then the code demo, then the code review, and last the future plan. The first part is introduction. In this part, I'm going to talk about the project description and structure and functionalities of the system. First, this is the short description of the project. This project is mainly work on the trade of the second-hand textbook on WKU. The older trade system is worked on the QQ group, but in that way, the number of trade person has its limitation, and the trade has not a good standard. For example, the seller only provides a picture and one sentence to describe it. The buyer may have problem like the product's function is not matching with the image. The students on WKU can use this application to sell their textbook, to buy the textbook, and to buy the textbook from others. As for the structure, the whole application contains 4 subsystems: account management subsystem, information center subsystem, store subsystem, and chat room subsystem. Account management subsystem is managing the account creation and account management. User can change their personal information, post the trade information, and check their orders on the information center subsystem. The store subsystem charts the display, the textbook information, search textbook, and payment. The chat room subsystem has the functions of sending and receiving TXT file information for chatting, blogging, and so on. Then, the functionality of the system is the system aims to provide WKU students with an online market for second-hand textbook for them to exchange or sell second-hand books. The main body of the system is designed as a client server system. Each student can register an account with their key email, and after that, users can log in the system and search the book's signatures. In the meanwhile, this system allows users to upload their textbooks. In addition, if the sellers and buyers want to discuss about the price, the system also provides a chat room for them. The second part is the code demo. It includes the code revision and the demo part. For the code revision, first one is I noticed that in every PXP file, where it requires the connection with database, it needs the code like connection, MyCircle, connect, and push 3 parameters, like this line of code to connect with the local database. So in each file, it will have the duplicate code. I think it's not good to maintain. So I extract the database connection out into a PHP file named dpu2.php. And the content of this file is like show here. It includes the database name and host name, username, password, and the connection. And all of those parameters can be changed due to your computer environment. And the advantage of this revision is that this increases the portability of the code. And if the system is to be deployed on a new system, you only need to change the variables once in the dbu2.php file. Then I also noticed that you put on the CSS code in one file. if some property in one page is different from the same property in another page, it will be really hard to maintain the file. And putting all the CSS into one file makes this file too long and will cost more time to revise code. So I divided the file into separate small files: login register.css, main.css, and search.css. In this way, you can better utilize the different cascading styles and easier to maintain the code. Then I will show you the demo of this system. First, I already opened Apache server and MySQL server by XAMPP. And I used the PHP Storm to work as SDE. It's loading the project now. Now let's run code. This is the main page of the second-hand trading system. First, we need to log in, but we didn't have a account, so we've registered. Give a name like demo. Okay, demo at Kimbo.edu. Password and confirm password. Register. Okay, it tells you you register successful. So now enter the email and password. Login. Yes, it means you login successful. And to see whether your account is in the database, you can see here. It's already put in the database. And now I show you the search function. Here you can enter like Java, and this is the title of the book, and click search. Yes, it tells you the result is found. And this page shows you the result. And on sale is yes. It means that you can buy this book. It's available now. And we didn't put the other functions like buy and the pay. And if we want to add this function, we just like add a button here, like buy, and the user can buy the book. And this is the database. Only 2 books is put into the book list. So like this. Then the third part is the code review. I will explain some content in our change list. This is the outline, and I will explain each one later. The first problem is the duplicate code. In these files, login submit, register submit, and this, they have a repetitive line of code. Is this one. In this way, if developers want to deploy the system in a new computer, they have to change the line of code in each PHP file, which costs a bunch of time to revise the code and is prone to making mistakes. Actually, we already have solved the problem by adding a configuration files, which discussed before. By adding this file, when changing environment, developers only need to change one time rather than change the piece of code in every PHP file. The second problem is better not use echo to notify users. In these 4 files, change the names of parameter. For example, I will add a comment like select this 4 line of code will select the whole column with name of selection. The section could be the title, ISBN, also author, or other, etc. Then another problem is no indication of user's current state. When user login successfully, the web will prompt like the figure shows here. Then we return back to the main page, this figure here. But the interface has no difference with when user didn't log in. I think after login, the main page should notify the user he has been logged in and provide the logout function. Like the page can add a short welcome sentence in the upper right corner, like here, hello and plus username, to notify that user have logged in. Then the last problem is no password encryption. I noticed that now the password stored in the database is still the unencrypted original password, which will result in lower security of the user account. So I will use MD5 or other encryption algorithms to encrypt the password. Like the picture shows how MD5 encrypts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 16-bit lowercase encryption version of the password, and following is other cases. Okay, and now I will talk about the future work. First is the adaptive requirement. We need to be adaptable. For future releases, the maximum number of users SHTM support should increase as the number of users increases. SHTM should be available for a long time. In addition, the web security certificate should be updated in time. The second one is system security. We want to design every function of the system based on security. SSL will be used to encrypt communication between the database and the server. The exchange of information between the server and the client also require encryption, especially for login requirements, so that others cannot get sensitive information through some messages. Furthermore, transparent data encryption TDE will be used to provide database encryption. All information will be backed up to a standby server, which is also encrypted by the TDE. Third one is policies and regulation. Although most users are WKU Chinese students, there are still some international students who are willing to use the system but do not understand Chinese. The system will increase English language support. We need to focus on relevant external regulatory requirements. In most regional laws, such as China and the United States, electronic textbooks are licensed and not sold. Electronic bookstores can control most of the user's right to ebooks. Lending second-hand electronic textbook, including copying ebooks or selling second-hand electronic textbooks, even if they are not DRM or TPM, may violate copying right. While there is no ebook policy to oversee how to use ebooks or any hard rules, the platform should avoid earning an extra commission to avoid risks. The next one is the system lifecycle sustainment. Although most use the design life of the system is at least 4 years and will be maintained by technical support personnel, including CPS students and WKU lecturers, with the following qualities activities. 4 system updates per year. Test once a month, check the running status of the system, and collect and analyze all telemetry data generated in the test to improve the system. Each semester, experienced personnel should organize the training of the detachment personnel and recruit new detachment personnel training from the second trade students in WKU. That's all of our presentation. Thanks for watching.